Good morning, everyone. Today's quite a solemn day, isn't it? A lot of you will be sitting around the TV today watching the Remembrance parades in every town and city. The main one being the Cenotaph in London for those in the UK. One taking part in Edinburgh, Glasgow, Belfast, Liverpool, Manchester, all over the UK. Cardiff, Felixstowe, Ipswich, Woodbridge. Every town comes together. Because the one thing that brings everyone together, truthfully, is sacrifice. There's not a single person, well, British passport holder, I should assume, that some member of your family hasn't served in the military. Every family in the UK has had somebody serve in the military. Everyone played their part. Land, sea and air. All the different. Today, I'm going to be going to my the local little war memorial. Pay my respects there. I've actually got two crosses downstairs with the names of two of my men that died serving alongside me. So it's an interesting day, isn't it? People always ask me about stuff. People always say thanks for your service. I say to people thanks for your service. Because there's always someone that's done more than you. There's always someone that's done more than you. There's always someone that's travelled further than you. Always someone that's climbed higher than you. Always someone that's achieved more than you. You should always look up, never look down. Don't look down on people. Look up. Remembrance Day for me for many years, I neglected it because it felt painful. It felt painful. Because I couldn't mention certain things that took part in operations because it used to upset people. Especially parents that have lost children in Afghanistan. I loved my time in Afghanistan and I hated it as well. It's where I got to do everything I've ever wanted to train, everything I've ever wanted to do. When I joined the battalion, my unit, there were soldiers that I looked up to, soldiers I aspired to want to be, soldiers that were so awesome. Their knowledge of everything, the knowledge of the grouping system, their knowledge of weapons, their knowledge of combat, fieldcraft, tactics, jungle, weapon systems, battlefields, their knowledge of it was just, to me, I was in awe looking at these guys. They were all over my battalion. But as I got older, they all disappeared. And just when they all disappeared, which is true, Iraq kicked off. Before that, there was nothing. There was Northern Ireland Operation Banner. There was the Kosovo, there was Bosnia, we had Sierra Leone. But then we had Iraq, Gulf War, wanted to go. Wanted to know what it was like to lead. Didn't get to there, I was a section commander, but that's not leading. Platoon commander, platoon sergeant. I know they say platoon sergeant are at the back of the platoon, but the 2AC of the platoon. When a platoon commander goes on R&R or something happens to the platoon commander, the platoon sergeant steps up, becomes platoon commander. When my platoon commander went in Afghanistan and I had to step up as platoon commander, I got to lead a patrol out north of Sangin. Our job was to interdict Taliban movement coming in from the north towards Sangin and to stay there in a compound. I had the privilege of being in charge of 6 United States Marine Corps Scout snipers that were attached to my platoon, and they carried Barretts, .50s. Excellent professional guys. It was surreal. Moving out of camp and staggered, made it 2 up, 1 down, your sections moving out and moving across the battlefield, because it was a battlefield, and trying to avoid areas where you knew you're being channeled. Always trying to interdict, always trying to outsmart the Taliban. Trying to outsmart the Taliban, whose commanders had all been trained in Sandhurst. The Royal Military Academy Sandhurst for commanders in the British Army. Trying to outsmart them when they knew your tactics, and then trying to double back on it. I mean, getting engaged with weapon systems and then trying to work out where is the safe area to go to. But if I jump into that safe area, that's where a secondary IED could be, or an IED, or a booby trap. So whenever you were hit and you were contacted with enemy gunfire in front of you, you just dropped to where you were and you took it on. You had to take it on. You couldn't try and move around at times. Tactics. Trying to tactically outsmart each other. Getting up in the morning, a routine. Getting washed and shaved. Brush your teeth. Rations. Going to the toilet and having to wear a helmet and body armor with your rifle. Some of the best and worst times ever. So when I look back, when I stand there today, in a minute's silence, or 2 minutes silence, and I reflect, my mind goes to Justin being killed, the conversation we had 10 minutes before he died, where he was telling me about his wife, Filma, and that he wanted to be a dad, but he had no kids. And that conversation, talking about his time when he served as a member of the US Navy. And then leaving the gates. And then minutes later, poor guy gone. There's lots to reflect about. Lots of brave people took part in campaigns we didn't ask to. I know soldiers get the blame of everything, but we don't ask to go to battle. We don't ask to go to war. We're sent. Giving the orders out to your men. I had a guy in my platoon. Great guy. Tam. For those that know, you'll know who I'm talking about. Tam. Small guy, but fierce. Fierce. He'd rip your head off. I remember Tam coming to me when we were in Sangin, and we had just pushed up the wadi. We were behind the pharmacy. We were pinned down. Tam will remember this. The guys with me will remember this. We were pinned down, and we couldn't get the initiative. Every time we tried to move out, we had machine gun fire. It was ridiculous. And Tam came to me and told me that what he believed was happening. A guy on a motorbike. And I remember turning to Tam and saying, "Kill him." What? Kill him. If what you're saying is right, let's go and have a look at what you've just said. Okay? Yeah, I agree with you. Next time he comes across on the bike, kill him. Those words aren't to be taken lightly. To give an order to one of your guys to eliminate someone is something that will always stick with me. But I will stand by it. I'm sure Tam will. We made the right decision and we were able to move forward and get the upper hand and get the guys out of being pinned down. So it worked out as a great call. But you've got to be in the moment to understand what soldiers go through. And when the battle's over on the battlefield, it only just starts up here. You've got to spend the rest of your life judging yourself, judging your decisions, judging your men. I've been very fortunate that, first of all, I'm still here. And second of all, I learnt from the people above me that were great soldiers. So my decisions that I made on the battlefield, they weren't always right, but I can stand by them, put my hand up. So today, when you're all watching remembrance parades, or you're out in your towns, your cities, your villages, just remember that, when the battle finishes on the battlefield, it starts in the head of those that have been there and been traumatized. Anyway, I wish you all well today. I hope it all goes well in all your towns and cities. There's no issues, no dramas, no trouble. And stay safe.